ABC 7 Chicago presents Asian Influences.
Hello everybody, I'm ABC 7's Linda Yu. Welcome to another edition of Asian Influences. In celebration of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, we pause to celebrate the accomplishments of our community, as well as focus on the challenges we face on a variety of issues from healthcare to redistricting. My colleagues Ravi Bechwal, Eric Hong, and Judy Su will be sharing stories from the community that have served to unite us and the organizations that are working to let our voices be heard. In our first story, Ravi Bechwal introduces us to a young man on a mission to defy the odds, even though they were stacked against him.
Ameya Pawar, a name not all that common in council chambers, is one that does have a ring to it, one of change and new leadership. And when you think about it, even the name Barack took a little bit of time to get used to.
If you take a ride up Lincoln Avenue near Irving Park Road, you'll notice some things never change. However, this past February, when it was time to elect a new alderman, many residents of this neighborhood said out with the old and in with the new. And so they did. The 47th Ward had a record voter turnout, and when all the ballots were counted, they elected this man to be their voice. Who is this man, you ask? Well, it depends on who you talk to. For some, he was a no-name candidate with little experience, but to others, Ameya Pawar was a savior because he spoke with style and grace and was passionate about turning the community around.
He was educated, and that's what this area really needed. Somebody that was educated, that was willing to listen to what people said.
In 2009, this young 29-year-old walked into Timber Lanes and charmed Bob Kuhn, a local businessman who'd been in the ward for decades, to discuss his plan to run for alderman.
I was in India that summer of 2009 with the State Department, and I was watching what was going on in the city with the budget, where the city had just started drawing down parking meter reserve money, and I thought this is irresponsible, this is not a sustainable way to run government, so I thought I'd just throw my hat in the ring and structure a campaign around good public policy.
After their meeting, Bob thought this IIT graduate was an exceptional young man, but he did not think he had a chance to unseat the incumbent alderman, Eugene Schulter.
I told him, I said, you don't usually win an election the first time. It not happens that often. You're not going to beat him the first time. He's been here for too long.
Full of determination, but with little money, Ameya Pawar set out on a long journey and decided that he would run for office even if that meant he had to knock on every door in the ward.
We didn't have any money. In fact, Bob helped us out financially. We had raised a total of $13,000 or $14,000, and we probably had $3,000 left at the time.
While campaigning, he attended all the festivals, greeted everyone with a smile, and shook hands with the young and the old.
Well, I think one thing we did know was that we could out-hustle our opponent, whether it was Alderman Schulter or Tom O'Donnell.
And just when things appeared to be looking hopeful, the political wind shifted, and the incumbent Schulter made a huge announcement.
When Schulter bowed out of the election, I said, kid, you won the lottery. You got the best chance in the world. And that's what happened.
I can't tell you how many people told me that I shouldn't be running, that I shouldn't rock the boat, that it could have impacts on a potential political career.
And although there were many skeptics, including the press, Ameya Pawar won 51% of the vote and made history as the first Asian American elected as alderman in Chicago, something of which he is very proud.
It's amazing. I can't tell you what that means and what that means for the Asian American community. I think they're really happy. I think they're also just happy to have a seat at the table. But I think it's also very important to note that my background, where my family is from, never once came up in the campaign in the 47th Ward. So I think it's a testament to, the progressive ward that we have here.
And now at the age of 30 years, he is also the youngest member in Mayor Rahm Emanuel's city council, a title he embraces yet understands comes with challenges.
I ran because I care about the city that I live in. We're at a financial tipping point that we can't keep doing things the same way. Everyone needs to have a voice and everyone needs to participate. And that's why we called our campaign, Renew Chicago instead of Ameya for Alderman, because it had nothing to do with just me. It had to do with the community and the community having a voice and being able to participate.
Thank you, Ravi. Ameya Pawar knows being a rookie in Chicago City Council will be challenging, but he's willing to do whatever it takes to make a difference. When this edition of Asian Influences returns, we'll look at some of the key issues facing the new Emanuel administration as community organizations line up to be heard.